Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a collective or general reading, so please be aware that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. I have already shuffled the cards, but I'm just giving them a quick cut and shuffle, and we'll begin the reading with the underlying energy. So the underlying energy from the bottom is the High Priestess. This card has been coming up quite a bit because right now, as I'm doing this reading, we're in the solstice, and we just had the new moon in Sagittarius. That new moon, you can see, is shown here. The High Priestess sits next to the throne of God. She's very, very intuitive, and she uses the cycles of the moon to gather her information. So hold on a second. I've got my little helper here is wanting to come and participate in the reading, my little cat. Okay, Stella, you can come up here and be a good girl. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's okay. You be a good girl. So this is, the High Priestess follows the cycles of the moon. And this energy, we just had a Sagittarius new moon on the 19th or 20th, depending where you are. And it's also the solstice tonight. So we have the longest night of the year here and the shortest day. And it's the opposite in Australia kind of energy, but here in North America. And so this is saying that there's light after at the end of the tunnel. So the days here have, by 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's already dark. And now we will, after tomorrow, the days will get longer and the nights will get shorter. And so that's kind of the energy we're in right now. And this is saying that it's time to move off to, I'm just going to double check that I have this lined up properly. Good. Because my cat knocked in her enthusiasm to join and help with the reading, she knocked my camera a little bit. All right, so this is talking about the Six of Swords is a card that's talking about having been in troubled waters and wanting to move to calmer shores. So this is about using your intuition. The rough waters represent emotions, and it can be from thoughts that you have. Overthinking, this card sometimes is like overthinking, and you just want to be able to move to like a place where you don't have to be thinking all the time. And quite often this energy can be talking about your inner child. And so like you notice this woman does not have any baggage with her, but she has a small child, and sometimes that represents your inner child. So the conveyor is taking you from one shore to the other, and they have to use this deep pole here, and this long pole, and reach to the bottom of the water here to be able to move forward. So that's the energy you're in, going deep, and also using your intuition to do so. But we have here the Empress. So if you're in this Empress energy, this is like all four queens in the minor arcana rolled into one person. So this is saying the Empress is sitting on her throne. She's in the flow. So she's growing wheat here. This represents the wheat. She plants the seeds and allows nature to take care of it for her. They sometimes say that this is indicating a pregnancy, but in either way, she could be pregnant. So that energy could be coming in for you. And it also could be that she's just pregnant with possibilities. So being in the flow, being in tune with her intuition, being able to bring the energy down to earth and manifest in a really strong way. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is about a message or some form of communication coming through. The knights worked for the kings and the queens in the court. And the energy, like they would start off as a page when they were 7 or 14 years old. And then if they did a good job, and they could afford a horse when they were 21, they would be put up for knighthood. And then that would mean that, you know, in the early days, they would just be working inside the court and inside the royal court. But now, like, they have to travel far and wide to deliver the messages. So this communication can be coming in sometimes because the swords represent your thinking. This could be whatever you decided here is coming in, and it's Empress energy. So it's like this knight is running towards the Empress. Now, we don't quite know what this is about. In the like, this sometimes represents someone who's rushing in. We can't see the point of a sword, so we don't know if he's has the full amount of information. He's stressing his horse out because he's really like trying to get there as quickly as possible. So it's that kind of energy. And so this sometimes could represent that you had a brilliant idea and you want to put it into, you know, get moving on it as quickly as possible. Or it can actually represent communication that is like, you know, in the old days, the knight would have been on horse and would have delivered it by hand. That it could still be in person, but it's more likely one of the other forms of communication we have now, like an email, a text, could be a social post, that kind of energy. And I just want to say also that the Empress and the Knight of Swords, like all the characters in the tarot deck, are actually archetypes. And so the Empress could be a male in their feminine energy, as well as a female in the feminine. And the Knight could be a woman in her masculine energy, as well as a male in his masculine energy. So just take it how it works for you. And then we have this Two of Pentacles. So this indicates someone who's multitasking. And it's like juggling options, juggling dollars. So perhaps you had a brilliant idea that you want to manifest, and you're trying to hurry up and get it done and bring that thought to life. And you're juggling dollars, time. The pentacles don't just represent money, but they do represent abundance of health, wealth, and happiness right on the planet Earth, like in the 3D. So definitely money is a part of that. The infinity symbol symbolizes that there's infinite potential here, but there's a juggling. So this sometimes can talk about work hard, play hard, you know, the dark and the light, good and evil, that kind of energy. It also can talk about here about multitasking. And so the energy could be that you've been really having to really get a lot done. A lot of people at this time of year, because we're in the holiday season, Christmas is 4 days away. And so there's that, all the last minute details and, you know, just having a lot to do besides everything you normally do. And it also represents like a lot of roller coaster of emotions as you navigate through things. So this card is just, has a warning saying if you're multitasking, don't multitask to the point where you are producing a lot of quantity, but it's not quality, and then you have to do it over. And it can also mean don't, you know, juggle your options, but don't juggle your morals. Okay, so there's some sort of energy here. The Eight of Swords represents someone who is trapped in a mental prison, and I was getting that there's some overthinking here. And you know, what that's about, really, I'm not totally certain yet. This card can represent feeling duty bound, that you have to get something done. Here we have 2 swords, and then here we have 1. So I don't know if that's significant as of yet. This card is representing someone that sort of created their own mental prison, though. This could be that they're very focused on this one sword, and that could be bringing this thought into being, and feeling like they need to hurry up and do it, but being missing something that they need to be able to bring it forth, or can't figure out some part of the puzzle. And so this energy is talking about someone that, like, they're looking for the answers. And this is saying, you know, use your intuition, because if you ask a logical question, then and you expect a logical answer, it will just give you another logical question. That's how logic works. If you ask a logical question and you get an intuitive answer, then you apply logic to it, and then you're able to move forward in that way. And I feel like it's kind of a mental prison of your own being, because like she could walk away here, take the blindfold off and see clearly where she's going. I feel that these, like there's 8 swords here, but 7 of them are behind her. And so they are thoughts that she's already dealt with. And then there's just this one sword that she's focused on. And here there was 2. So it could be like that, this energy could be regarding needing to have someone else's input also, or it could be just really being focused on whatever this is and what this information that came in is. We'll see. We'll keep going here. We have a soulmate card here coming in. So this is awesome. So the soulmate. Okay. So the soulmate comes in, and the soulmate is quite often a romantic partner that's perfect for you. It's like a divine gift from God and the universe. This also can represent one person that is really balanced in their masculine and feminine energy, so they're able to use their intuition and their logic to be able to come to a solution. And so about something they love, something they're working on, this could be about love, romantic love. It could be love of something or someone else that's not romantic, and it could also be something that you love to do. And so, but it's talking about bringing that energy in, and that's the energy I'm getting, and really wanting this to happen. And then we have justice. So the justice is talking about getting neutral to these 2 extremes so that you can get neutral to whatever's in between. This can be, justice speaks for itself. It's like having a fair outcome. So there could be something about some intellectual material or something, and having to get it like to a lawyer and copyright it and all of that. And hey, at this time of year, it's not easy to get professional people. Everybody's on holidays right now. So it could be like having, coming down to the wire and really needing to get something done. The justice is, having justice from above as well as below. And, and she has a sword here also. And I just noticed that the other day when I was doing a reading. I never noticed the sword in her hand. So this, these are double-edged swords. So I feel like using your intuition and your logic at the same time will help you get to this place where you'll solve whatever this is, like whatever is you're in such a hurry to solve here. And then, and then the Fool will be on their journey. So what I'm doing is I'm building a spread with a pyramid here, and this is the bottom line. And this bottom line represents the tools that you have, that you're working with right now. So, I mean, if you're an Empress, you already have a lot. And if you're traveling on your divine path with God and you've been in rough waters, you already have made a decision to move forward in a way. So it's talking about someone who's really been multitasking to get something done in a hurry and needing it done and not knowing quite there's something missing. But then a soulmate comes in and there's justice. So I feel like this is the energy of maybe you find the perfect person to empower you with something you love to do, or that something you love that you've been working on, or it could actually be a soulmate. In any case, we're now moving into, okay, these are the obstacles, and this is about going into the new. So the Fool is on a brand new journey. And in 2025, 2 + 2 + 5 is 9. So that's a 9-year, and a 9-year represents the end of a cycle. So it's actually not just moving from 2025 into 2026. 2026, 2 + 2 + 6 = 10. Excuse me. And that adds up to 1 plus 0 is a 1. So this is a 1 year. So it's about all new beginnings. And this is actually talking about the end of one cycle and moving into like a decade of new, into a new cycle. And that's the energy of having to adapt to that. You know, it's quite a bit. And we have the Queen of Wands here. So we have the Empress. So the Empress could this could be talking, because the Empress is all 4 queens rolled into one. This could be talking about to be in this place of this Empress, to get this done, you need to be using the skills of all the queens within you. So one of those is the Queen of Wands uses her intuition and her logic to have creative solutions to problems. She's chill. She doesn't get really worked up in about the emotions here. She doesn't overthink things. She's got the sunflower there. She has faith on the path she's in. She feels she's in the flow. And she prefers to just kind of ask a logical question, get an intuitive answer, and then logically put that action into place. And she's got the sunflower because she trusts her path with God. Sunflowers follow the path of the sun. And then she's got this little cat that is representing the unknown. And cats have 9 lives, and that's coming up here also. So we're moving from that 9 energy into this new. It's all about the new. And this energy is coming in a lot right now. Of course, because we're moving into the new year. We just had the new year in Sagittarius on the 20th, and that was the fire. And that's what she represents. So, and this could be, as I said, the Empress is all 4 queens rolled into one. So this could represent one of the qualities in the Empress that she needs to bring out on this new journey and rely on that. Or it could be someone that she knows that's come in, and it's a soulmate. Like, as I said, soulmates don't have to be romantic partners, but it could be like that it's 2 individuals of the same gender that are partners also, however that is. Remembering that the queens and the Empress can be males in their feminine energy as well as females in their feminine energy. Then we have the 3 of Cups. So this energy, is talking about, this is making me feel like there may have been a couple here, and the Queen of Wands energy is someone who's very independent. I feel like we already have the Empress here. The 3 of Cups sometimes means that there's 3 people involved instead of 2 in a relationship, and someone may have been juggling their morals and invited a third party into a relationship that was meant between 2 people. Could have been like that kind of energy. We'll have to see. So this is like, the reason I feel this way is because this looks like a celebration. But having said that, when they're toasting each other, they're not toasting each other. They're toasting the cups. They're toasting the idea, not the people involved, and not each other. So that's kind of more like the energy of something of toasting something that's happening, or toasting something that's put in place, but not looking at each other. And in a lot of, especially in Europe, a lot of cultures, if you don't look at someone when you're toasting, it means that you will have 7 years bad luck. That's a superstition, but it's not worth taking a chance. You don't want to have 7 years of bad luck in your love life. And these are cups of love. So I feel like sometimes this energy is talking about gossip and slander, and or perhaps this energy that maybe somebody did something, juggled morals here. And it could be, I'm getting about intellectual property possibly, and you need to get it taken care of by a lawyer right away. Or something could have been seen, as I said, like some sort of communication came in, and that communication could have been like an online post or whatever, something like that. because it's talking about it being public, you know, that kind of energy. And or it could be in romantic life. And now we've got the Page of Cups coming in. And so the Page of Cups is saying this is about love. Generally, this is romantic love. The Page of Cups knows that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he's caught this fish and he's studying this one, and this is the one that he's focused on. So there might have been a couple, and then it ended up, one of them ended up focusing on a third party. We'll have to see, because quite often that's what this card means, and it's sitting right on this energy of juggling morals, possibly, right? So we'll keep going here. And then we have the King of Wands. So if the, oh, okay. Yeah, it kind of feels like the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, or possibly a couple, and perhaps, or the King of Wands and the Empress are a couple, and the Queen of Wands, she's considered like to be the most sexy of all the queens, and very a natural beauty, you know, and very independent, and just like her own unique person. And so if this king had an Empress, because the King of Wands, he's holding on to his passion here, and he loves his wand. And so sometimes he thinks with his little head. And that's the energy. He's the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He's very charismatic. He can get, like, he, you know, he's very desirable. He's a forward thinker, quite often entrepreneurial, you know, the life of the party. He's fiery, he's funny, that kind of energy. So he might have been with an Empress and was tempted by a Queen of Wands then this happened. That kind of energy. Yeah, it's really different. It's almost like this person could be that person, you know? So let's just keep going. But it's starting to look like it could be like someone was cheating in a relationship. And if it was like these two together, the Empress is like, definitely marriage material. The Queen of Wands might be a little more, you know, independent. Let's put it that way. And then we have, okay, so the King of Wands is, we have the Knight of Cups coming in now. So the Knight of Cups is like more of a grown-up version of the Page of Cups. So perhaps the King of Wands got with the Empress when he was younger, and then met this person and felt like, oh, this is actually my soulmate, and offered a cup of love to have this threesome thing here going, right? Because the cup of love is facing the King of Wands. It's like after the King of Wands turned away. Now, did the King of Wands turn away from the Empress, or did the King of Wands turn away from the Queen of Wands? If these two are in a partnership together, it can be very fiery because they're both very charismatic. They're both very sexy. They both are, you know, have their individual needs. They're, you know, they're the life of the party, that kind of energy. So sometimes they make a really good couple, but sometimes they end up like too much of the same thing kind of energy. And whereas the Empress would be someone that would be like more marriage material, like, because the Empress is this, but she's also the other three queens, and she's more established. So this could be a younger woman and an older woman is what the energy I'm picking up. And perhaps the King of Wands met this person and thought, oh, this is my soulmate, and went on a foolish path. We'll see. Maybe we'll see. Maybe did it turn out to be, you know, because that would make sense why now this energy is coming in here. And the Empress wants to move on to calmer waters because she got this information regarding this. And now this has created this discordant energy. So let's look into it some more. So this is the tools that you have to move forward now with what you're doing. This is the obstacles that come up, and this could be an obstacle if this was found out, because it's almost like that. It's, you know, it's that kind of energy. Let's see. Let's keep going. And there's something that there has to be justice coming in about also, right? And so then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So we have a lot of communication coming in. And so the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups, this Page of Cups is a younger version of this Knight. And the Knight of Cups is like a knight in shining armor. This is about romance. And this is about, I feel like this king got into this young energy kind of feeling, you know, and was studying this fish. And then decided to move on from this energy, or, you know, and offer a cup of romance here. Now we have the King of, or the Knight of Pentacles coming in. And the Knight of Pentacles is something that's been a long time coming. This has been a long time coming energy. So the Knight, literally. And so the Knight of Pentacles is like bringing in another communication. Usually this communication is about, if it's about money, it's about a legacy. It's generational wealth. It's a lot of money. Like it's talking about this, I feel this King of Wands, because he's looking at both these knights, feeling like maybe he found his soulmate. And that, because these are the King and the Queen of Wands are, you know, quite often a couple when they show up together like this, it could be that then he met this Empress and decided that, you know, this is my soulmate. And now, like, she would have like a lot to offer because she's all four queens. And he might have fallen head over heels or something. And now this communication is coming in that they're combining their resources. That kind of energy. So perhaps it's, you know, it's one or the other. Just take it however it works for you. And this energy is like, the Nine of Cups is saying that when it comes to love, this is everything that this King of Wands has ever wished for since he was young. And you know, it's kind of talking about not really thinking with his big head, but his little head. Like, this is about more passion and enthusiasm and this roller coaster, like the waves. It's like it's created some waves. And it's kind of like, after meeting this Empress, I feel like it's more that energy, but it could be either or. But there definitely was some energy here regarding this, and people are talking about it. Like it came out, and so maybe this energy here was like for the king telling, hey, the Queen of Wands knows about this now, so we have to do damage control or whatever, that kind of energy. So this is having the courage to get what you want in life, right? So the Nine of Cups is talking about that you're highly favored to have like everything you want for fulfillment in love, like of everything. Like this can be like you have the perfect partner, you have the perfect family, like you love your country, you love your business, you love the place you live, you love where, you know, all of that. But they're not there yet. And that's what the energy is coming in, because this is something that, you know, has always been wished for. But look at the body language. Like this is like very open from the lower body, and from the upper body, it's closed. So it's kind of like, and you notice the energy is like, you know, over the heart. But then when you look at it again, it's infinite potential. So this is saying somebody leaked their energy here. you know? And from the lower half of their body is what it's saying. That's the energy I'm picking up. And because they found something that they've always wished for. And so that could be they feel that they found their soulmate. And this cup here, that studying this, that this person is the 10th cup that they've always been missing in their life. That's the energy. And then the Hierophant comes in. And there's something else I didn't think about. It could be this energy of the Queen of Wands that was cheating also. And the king found out and he's like, hey, this works out perfect. This is what I was wishing for. It could be that. You know, it could all work out in the end. It's a complicated situation, but it could all work out in the end. Because the Hierophant is coming in and he's coming in with a blessing. And the Hierophant is like judgment. Like this could literally be a judge. Or someone that is in a place of, authority over judgments. And it's also speaking about on the spiritual side as well as the physical. Maybe they just didn't want to be together anymore and they both were cheating on each other. That kind of energy. Anyway, this cycle is over. And it's a solstice tonight. And this card, when this card comes up, I really feel like it's talking about this energy. I mean, we have the moon like 2 days ago and yesterday for some. We have the solstice tonight. And then we have the new year coming up. And it's the total end of a decade of cycle into a new decade of cycle. So there's a lot of energy, boom, coming here to transition. And the king, look at the king is run over and his crown has fallen off his head. So, maybe these two got together and they were like, hey, because remember, this can be a male and this can be a male. This could be a male and this could still be a female and this could be another female. Like we don't, like it depends. So take it how your situation works. But in any case, I feel like this is saying that this energy here of all this drama is over. Like it's got to end, and to be able to move forward in a strong way, to get out of this mental prison. It's causing too much drama, and this is talking with the king run over. That's not really talking about an actual death, but it's talking about an old way of being over. So whether he initiated it or these two initiated it, this energy, the king has been trampled here. So I feel like perhaps it was between these two, this kind of energy. Just take it how it works for you. And then this is about staying on the path again and the sun coming up. So this is about death and rebirth. So it's like moving from one cycle and then into the other. But this actually represents, if going through a really hard time, this flag represents the light at the end of the tunnel, like having gone through a real difficult, challenging period. And that's now over and the sun's rising and setting, perfect solstice energy here. That's, basically what that is. And then we have destiny. So the wheel of fortune is turning. And the Fool is on this new journey. It's shifting. The energy is shifting because the Hierophant comes in with a blessing. And then remember, the wheel of fortune represents 3 wheels, past, present, and future, turning. So this could have happened in the past, could be happening in the present right now, or it's just about to happen in the future. Whatever parts of it too. And then we have here, these wands have been launched. And so we're in this energy now of going after this is having the courage to get through it, to get on your destined path. And then this is about the wands being launched into this new energy that the Fool is on. Like now it's like official or whatever. Maybe the information is public now or whatever. This can also represent someone this is conception. of something new happening. So this could be, perhaps the Queen of Wands has conceived a child, or the Empress, because the Empress represents pregnancy. So that's the kind of energy that we're dealing with. No wonder it's been like this. So this energy is, it's been a never-ending nightmare that, you know, it was unsolvable. That's what this energy is saying. But now that the Hierophant has come in, it's a blessing, because whatever happened, it's out in the open now, and it's being dealt with. And so this sometimes represents like a never-ending nightmare, but it also can represent getting enlightenment from source energy, from God, which is what the Hierophant represents, and also the High Priestess represents. That it's time to make this change, that it's not benefiting either person in this couplehood to stay in this energy. And in some ways, this was destiny to meet this soulmate, and it's time to move forward. So whatever energy that is, however that works for you. Yeah, judgment's been called, and judgment is coming in because when the soulmate card shows up, it's like that's ordained by above. Like that's like the perfect couple together. If they're both strong in what they're doing, but if they're not, it can be like a real shift show, like messy. And so the judgment is coming down, and this is representing ancestors and descendants. So this could say also that this is happened to your great-grandparents or grandparents, etc. So this could be some energy, and you're the child that was conceived, and this was their story, and you didn't know about it, and now the information's out, and you find out, you know, like with DNA testing that a lot of people are doing, and Ancestry.com and all of that, a lot of people are finding out that they're not, that they've been adopted, and they didn't know they were, that kind of energy, and this, you know, there could be a lot happening here. So this isn't necessarily, so that's why it's kind of confusing. It can be all the things that we talked about before, but now this other element is coming in, that this is judgment. And this represents skeletons coming out of the closet, Pandora's box being opened. And now that this information is out, there's no turning back from it. Like, once you know what you know, right? And it's about some pentacles also. So what if there was another child that was in this Empress energy, you know, and now maybe the grandparents maybe the grandparents have passed, and this information just came out, or your parents, someone passed, and the information came out that there was a love child, and that the pentacles now have to be shared with a love child that was conceived. Yeah, it could be that too. Like, this is really interesting energy. Or there was a pregnancy with one of these two here, but I picked up a pregnancy right away, and generally the Empress is likely to be the one if there's a pregnancy. And now we have the conception card, so we have conception and pregnancy. So the Queen of Cups. Isn't that interesting? Because I was just saying that's sitting right on the judgment, and that's talking about the ancestors. So the Queen of Cups can represent someone who's the matriarch of the family. So, you know, you might never have known that about your grandmother. But it can be that kind of energy, right? Where she's she's the container of love. And yeah, like this is kind of maybe a great-grandmother or a grandmother passed. Or, you know, your parents, depending on your age or whatever. And you might be that child, or if they're older like that, or it could be that everybody's finding out, well, grandma, you know, had a lover that was not grandpa. And this child, you know, is out there somewhere, and they found them. And now the inheritance has to be given to them also. That's the energy. A lot of that energy coming in lately. And then, yeah, and then we have a Knight of Wands coming in, delivering the news to grandma. So this could have been about grandpa kind of energy. That's what I'm picking up, because this is a knight, you know, this is passion, and this is coming in, and you know, the Knight of Wands is a rebel with a cause, and this is about you know, this could be someone from across the world. You know, it could have been an energy where, you know, people have moved from Europe to North America because of the war or something like that, that type of energy. And